We've gotten all the spoilers for the upcoming Star Wars Unlimited set, Legends of the Force, and this set is looking to be one of the most exciting limited environments we've ever had, with plenty of incredible cards for Premier Play as well. As you guys know, Star Wars Unlimited is one of my favorite TCGs out right now, and today I've selected what I consider to be the top 5 best cards in this set that you'll see in Premier Play. My name is Nick with TCG HQ, and without further ado, let's get started. As a disclaimer, we're going to start off by mentioning what I've stated to be called the big 3 legendaries of this set. They are Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker, and Qui-Gon Jinn. These 3 cards will not be on this list, because they would and should be number 1, 2, and 3 on this list respectively. These 3 cards are meta-warping and powerful, and will certainly be 3 staples in their colors, doubly so once rotation hits in March. Therefore, while I want to take a moment to acknowledge their power levels, they will be at the top of every other content creator's lists, so we wanted to throw in a few other good cards that deserve the spotlight since everyone knows how good these cards will be. Onto the list. Number 5, the Pergle King, leading the journey. Ever since they announced that space creatures would be a thing for this set, I was super excited to see what space units we'd get, particularly what Pergles we'd see, and the Pergle King is a sleeper hit for one of the very best cards in the set. Why? Let's compare it to one of the very best cards that Command loves to play, Reinforcement Walker. Reinforcement Walker is an 8-drop ground unit that says when played on attack, look at the top card of your deck, either draw it or discard it to heal 3 damage from your base. The Pergle King reads, restore 4, and when played, draw a card for each unit you control with 7 or more remaining HP. Reinforcement Walker is one of the most played cards in the game, and the Pergle King fits that same slot, while also being able to be upgraded with lightsabers, blasters, and everything in between. Since it's not a vehicle, something Walker cannot do, all of those upgrades are fair game. Furthermore, this is the first card in the game with Restore 4, and you can pull off some crazy plays with it using Timely Intervention, Dogfight, and any other card that will let it ambush or attack while exhausted. Not only do I think this is a great top end for a green creature deck, I also think it'll occupy the 8-drop Game Ender slot that many decks need in these colors once rotation hits in March and Reinforcement Walker is no longer an option. I'm so confident in this card that it makes my list at number 5. Number 4, Kiotti Mundi, We Must Push On. Kiotti Mundi's new card is an Aggression Heroism 4-drop with the traits Force, Jedi, and Republic, with an ability that reads, when played, you may use the Force and lose your Force token. If you do, draw 2 cards. In Star Wars Unlimited, drawing cards on its own is typically not useful since this game is so heavily reliant on tempo plays due to the back and forth action gameplay loop. That being said, we've seen card draw be incredibly powerful whenever it's attached to another powerful card. See Spark of Rebellion's Yoda card, or Dr. Pershing, or Deathmark. All these cards are utilized to get cards in the hands of their players at opportune times without sacrificing tempo. Kiotti Mundi does the same. The new Force mechanic remains unproven in terms of its competitive viability, but the ability to draw 2 cards just for playing a Force unit on rate on 4 with decent stats is enough value to justify slotting it in every red hero deck that cares about the Force. We'll be seeing this card a lot moving forward, along with plenty of other new red cards in this set that help him consistently draw 2 cards. Number 3, Yoda, My Ally is the Force. Our first legendary in the top 5, we have a lot to talk about here. Yoda is not only a very good 8-drop with great traits and an acceptable stat line, he is one of the very best payoffs in the set for the Force mechanic, and it's so awesome to see such an iconic character receive this treatment. He has 2 abilities that will always be triggering at the same time, as well as further in the game. The first is, when played, you may use the Force. If you do, heal 5 damage from your base. Pretty good. And when you use the Force, you may deal damage to a unit equal to twice the number of units you control. First off, when you play him, you're guaranteed healing 5, which directly impacts your opponent's math for trying to win the game. Heroism command typically likes stalling, going wide, playing late game bombs that bolster the big boards you've built, as we've seen recently with decks like Rey Data Vault and Han Solo Data Vault, and Yoda slots into this strategy perfectly. You're healing 5 on play. Then, if you played U-Wing Reinforcement last turn and still have some of the units you dropped from that card, you're potentially dealing 4, 6, or even 8 total damage to one of your opponent's units, very likely defeating them in the process. And this continues every single time you use the Force in this game. Any opponent is going to hate to see a Yoda slam down on 8 resources, and that's why I have him at number 3 on my list. Number 2, Constructed Lightsaber. When this card got spoiled, all I could think about was how absolutely cracked this card was going to be for every existing Force deck, and its ability to be played on any kind of Force unit immediately upped its viability in my eyes. This card can turn Anakin Skywalker unit from this set into a Sentinel. It can give the new Kanan leader Restore 2. It can give Darth Revan and Darth Malak Raid 2. It's so unbelievably flexible and powerful for all Force decks that I can certainly see it sleeved up and played in almost all of them, both now and when Jedi Lightsaber rotates out. Alright, let's move on to some honorable mentions. Before we reveal our number 1 pick, let's go over a few of these honorable mentions that I wanted to include on this list, but didn't quite make the cut. Vernestra Rwoh, Precocious Knight. With the ability to ready herself on play by expending the Force token, Vernestra Rwoh is going to be seeing plenty of play in tons of yellow Force decks. The token occasionally doesn't line up for her, but when it does, it functions just the same as Millennium Falcon Piece of Junk, a staple in Cunning. Color and Beck, the Sabered Hand. A mini U-Wing reinforcement, this card can act as a huge tempo swing, providing you with a huge stat boost across the board. If you play it on 8 or 9 resources even, you can grab so many powerful different units that can swing the game in your favor. You'll definitely be seeing him in the top end of green decks. I just worry about how crowded those decks are looking now, which is why he didn't quite make the cut on this list, but he might make the cut in your list. Oppo Rancisis, Ancient Counselor. This is the first double green card in this game that feels like a proper build-around. Theoretically, this card can carry nearly every keyword in the game, and in testing, I've found that it often trips up opponents when they need to remember that he carries all these keywords as everything else on your board. Plus, he has a 3/5 stat line on 3, which means he's going to see play in these colors regardless of text. He doesn't quite make the list because double green doesn't have a home in the game yet anywhere competitively, but still, I love this card's design and I'm certain someone is going to try to break him. And for our number 1 pick on this list, Cherret Imwe, Blind Not Deaf. While Cherret doesn't immediately seem too intimidating, let's give his text a read so we can piece together just how impactful this card will be. Cherret is a 3/5, 4-cost Sentinel, with the added ability that reads, when this unit is attacked, you may use the Force and lose your Force token. If you do, give the attacker -2/-0 for the phase. Any SWU player knows just how annoying playing against Sentinels can be, and Cherret compounds this problem dramatically. When you're going up against Cherret, if you don't have any way to interact with him and remove him from the board in your hand, you're going to have to attack into him. Force decks that have the Force token when he comes down can continue to generate the token over the turn as the opponent attacks into Cherret, which means that Cherret can keep using the Force to reduce the attacker's power. Most attackers on 4 have only 3 power. So, if Cherret reduces 2 to 3 different units' power down to 1, that means he's eating up an entire opponent's turn. Not only this, but because he has the Force trait, you can put lightsabers on him, you can use Force Throw, and cause all sorts of problems for your opponent that, in many cases, they just can't deal with, all for a 4-cost card. This card will see play in nearly every blue deck simply because he's a 3/5 Sentinel on 4, but his upside is so sky high that I can't foresee a world in which we don't have to regularly deal with a Cherret on the board. Hold those takedowns, you will need them. And that's our list. What did you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? I'd love to hear the cards that you're interested in playing from the new set down below. I'm super excited for Legends of the Force, and if you're interested in buying this set or any other Star Wars Unlimited sets, we have everything you'll need from sealed to supplies at cardshq.com. Not only this, but in store we're doing 3 pre-releases here at the store starting July 4th. I'm Nick with TCGHQ, and I hope to see you there. Until next time.